Hey everybody, so we have completed our Getting Started module, and you should already have a discussion post on this discussion thread introducing yourself. And so let's hop to Module 1. We can see here there is an overview for you guys to read, and we can see the objectives that we are going to be hitting and the activities that we're going to have for this Module 1. In this module, we're going to be talking about Piaget, his stages of development, and Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. These two things are really important because you can have your classroom set up. It can look like a Pinterest classroom. Everything can be fantastic. You can have poured over unit maps, curriculum contracts, lesson plans, and perfected all of that. But if we don't understand how our students learn, process information, then we are going to be stuck in the classroom and we're not going to be successful. And so that is really what this module is walking us through, is some ideas that these two educational theorists, Piaget and Vygotsky, had about how students learn, how students will develop, and what type of things go into them. You'll see that at times they contradict, and that's okay. What I would like for us to do is to understand, okay, I know what Piaget says, and I know what Vygotsky says, and I'm going to be an educated leader in my school, and I'm going to say, I agree with him on this point, and I agree with him on this point, and our goal is for it to change the way that we interact with students in the classroom a little bit. So, some things for you to see here. Our Module 1 lecture materials. Right here and right here are two links to articles that is going to tell us about Piaget and Vygotsky's life. We would like to know more about who they were as educators, if they even were educators, who they were as scientists, who they were as theorists, and this will help us understand some of their thought processes if we understand the life that they had growing up and what they did as an occupation. And so you're going to kind of jump in and figure out who these guys are a little bit more by reading those two things. And then you'll see, I believe there's 4, I was right, good. There is 4 videos here, and it's going to kind of build you up or scaffold your understanding of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. And then it shows a real life example of his this cognitive stages of development. And then we have just a little video about Vygotsky's zone of proximal development, or ZPD. And then it tells us a little bit more about him. And so then what you are going to do is you are going to, let me go back over here to this module, you are going to end up submitting, up here, you are going to end up submitting your reading reflection. From everything that you learned there, I want you to, just 1-page, single space, reflect how Vygotsky and Piaget's theories make more sense now that we know their historical context, about where they came from, growing up, their home life, those type of things. Super simple, 1-page, single space. Just tell me your thoughts on those and how your thinking changed, and you're just going to submit it right there. Okay? The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to have a stage theorist debate. And what that is, each module, you'll have some type of discussion or interaction with your peers in the class. And I have presented a topic about does development really occur in stages? And then I've given you 2 sides that you can position yourself on. And so I want you just to follow the directions here, tell me which side you side with, and then cite some of the things that we use in the class. The video said this. Some of the text that you gave said this. My personal experiences tell me these things. And so you're going to side with one of those sides right there. And then you're going to have that posted by midnight on Wednesday of our first week. And then by Sunday, midnight, you are going to comment back on 2 others. Comment on someone on side 1 and comment on someone from side 2. This is just a good way to kind of collaborate with our peers, figure out what other people are thinking. A lot of times I'll participate in some of these debates and I know what I think, and that's totally the right answer. And then I read one of your guys' comments and I think, oh, I've never thought about it that way. That's really interesting. And so it's not so much about being right, it's just exchanging the ideas. And then our last thing right here is we are going to see how that unit that you posted in the beginning module, the Get Started module, you've posted that unit, you've linked your Google Doc to that intro discussion, and now we're going to start altering those lessons a little bit. And so what I want you to do is I want you to do 3 things. Reflect on what you've learned about ZPD and socio-emotional development. And then address how you will apply ZPD within your unit and address the sociocultural development of your students. So think about how are you going to really apply both of those things in your unit, and you're just going to comment it right here. You are going to, type it in the discussion board and include in that a link to your Google Doc, so we don't have to go back and find it. But you're going to type in there, these are the things that I have changed or altered in my unit, showing that I understand more clearly ZPD and some of these stages of development. Same thing like the other discussion before, have that done by Friday at midnight, and then comment on 2 others of your peers by Sunday at midnight. That is really it. We're doing each week, we are learning and investigating. We are writing a 1-page reflection, doing a discussion, and then applying what we learned by altering that unit. You can see right here in our Module 1 summary, make sure that you've done these 3 things: your reflection, your debate, and your unit application. If you guys have any questions for me, like always, please email and I will get right back to you. And I enjoy and I'm looking forward to reading some of these discussions that we are soon to have.